He worked in Conestoga College and Mohawk College as the International Students Recruitment Officer. Welcome to our daily live QA session, streamed to our social media groups. This Zoom is active every day from about 9 a.m. We have Toronto time, our Canada team, and myself here. And this is a permanent Zoom link. This is active for about 12 hours every day from 10:30 a.m. India time and till 10:30 p.m. and set around 10:30, 11 p.m. India time. So almost about 12 plus hours we are active. So today we are discussing, I just wanted to give a short update and, there are many people who are applying for the spouse open work permit. And I think we have one of our student spouse, Karna here, who is interested. So one, guys, if you are here on a 1 year program, you can definitely apply for spouse open work permit. Unfortunately, Karuna's spouse, somebody, he's applying for a second program with CIP. Somebody previously advised him that since he's going for a 1 year program, which is 8 months, he should not apply for spouse open work permit. It is definitely crap, wrong, unprofessional advice. Yes, you can apply. 8 months is one academic year, and it's possible. We have done more than 500 spouse open work permits last year for our CIP and non-CIP students with almost about 99% approvals. I was just explaining, Karna, that, in all my 13 years career, spouse open work permits generally are approved. About 70% are approved for the first time. Sometimes, there are some issues and IRCC, there's sometimes no logic in the decisions, but most of them are approved first time and you might have to apply for the second and third time. So, Karna, let me explain you, Karna, three things very important for spouse open work permit. I explained Srikanth yesterday as well, but I'm explaining you. So first is the relationship, right? This is very critical and primary. Why? Because unfortunately, there are some criminal elements who are using the spouse open work permit program to facilitate work permits, illegal immigration, human trafficking, and fake marriages to facilitate immigration. So visa officers are very, careful, and they, especially with new marriages, so they are very particular about relationship. So the proof of relationship is very important. One, it is your how long have you been married? Was it a traditional marriage, right? How long have you lived together as a wife and husband? If it is a traditional marriage, sometimes they want to see that it was for us in India and also in many countries, Middle East and also in South Asia. For everybody, it's wedding is not just for the couple, but also for the family and the community, right? So how many people came to the wedding? Was it a cultural wedding? Because sometimes when you have court marriages, registered marriages, some of them are staged with just 5 or 6 people, and that unfortunately has happened previously, and that is the reason why visa office is very important. So they want to understand your marriage. Was it a love marriage, traditional marriage, your relationship history? If it is a traditional marriage, right, how was your wedding, and how long have you lived together as a wife and husband? This is very important. If you have children, it is a proof of your relationship. So relationship is fine. How long have you been married, Karna?
So 1 year, sir.
1 year, right? And how
Yeah,
long have you lived together as a wife and husband?
around 8 months, sir.
8 months. How many people did you have? Was it a love marriage and or arranged marriage?
It's an arranged marriage, and it was a traditional wedding, like
That's
around
good. How many people attended your wedding?
500 to 600 people.
That's good because you have to provide all the proof of your relationship, including your wedding card, your reception
Okay.
pictures, wedding pictures, and all that. Okay, so that is the first thing. Second is your
Okay.
financials, right?
Mhm.
I spoke to Srikanth. I will connect with you afterwards, but let me explain here briefly. One, source of income is very important, and proof of funds is very important, right? So it is advisable to show 6 months bank statement. If you have a consistent income, for example, your salary is about 1 lakh and you're getting the money in your account, and you have a savings about 7, 8, or 10 lakhs, right? You show the bank statement. So for one person, it is advisable to show about $10,000 is the minimum, but we always advise to show more, $12,000 plus, right? So that is the financial. So apart from the proof of funds, uh, immovable properties, any investments, gold, right? Houses, whatever you have, you prepare a CA report and you provide it as a proof of financials, right? So this is the second important thing. Third important is not the most, I would say, but again, your education, your work experience, your caliber is very important, right? How the open work permit program, spouse open work permit program will help you. What is Canada economically benefiting by giving you an approval? So these three things are very critical when it comes to the spouse open work permit. Okay, so pretty much simple. Your husband's spouse open, I think his study visa is still valid till end of September, almost about 8 months, right?
Yeah,
I think I'm not sure if Srikanth shared you our Facebook. We have last year during the COVID, things were very difficult. Unfortunately, IRCC put a pause on on spouse open work permits because when there is a question of public health risk, there was no sense in or letting out people come to Canada. So there was a huge pause, but now we are getting spouse open work permit decisions in just about 2 to 4 weeks. I think a couple of days ago we had Abdul Khadir. I think his approval was in 13 days.
that's great.
Okay, so I'll connect you. I think, did you talk to Madam Khatter?
Yeah, sir. Actually, I tried to contact her, but she was asking about the offer letter and all the things which were not with me. So,
Oh, yeah. So be in touch with her. She's my assistant. Uma Madam actually lived here in Canada, in fact, in
okay.
Waterloo. And unfortunately, due to her father's ill health, she had to leave everything and she wanted to when go back. She's assisted me with more than 100 of, applications, 100 plus applications probably this last year for Telugu people. So
Okay.
she will advise you on the basic stuff and she will prepare for the file for me to review and we'll take it forward from there. Okay. We
Okay.
charge for CIP students, if your husband had, for CIP students, your husband is applying through me, we only charge, I think, 100 or $150 for the process. But for non-CIP students who are not from our agency, we charge $500 plus taxes. Okay, so your husband has applied to us in York University. We only charge a very bare minimum to support our students. We support our students from the study visa process, spouse open work permit till PR with very discounted basic self consulting fees.
Okay, so actually, initially I thought of applying for PR, but my IELTS score was around 8876.5, because of which
Yeah,
I
it
had to
doesn't
switch
make
to
sense. I
this.
mean, you can do the same thing from Canada, and you could actually have completed your 1 year work experience,
Mhm.
and you would have applied under CEC as well, right? Because for FSW, you will have to show proof of funds and all this, and it doesn't make sense. When you're married, wife and husband, you are meant to be together,
Okay.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
and there is no reason, in worst case, if it doesn't work out, yes, you will, Srikanth will, you can apply for your PR or Srikanth can apply, but you have a legal option to come here and join your spouse on a spouse open work permit. And as I said, in all my 13 years of experience, unless there is a misrepresentation of very bad luck, everybody will get the visa.
Okay,
Okay.
so I can expect like the process will be completed within like 2 months or so, right? Like whether I will get rejection or approval.
Hardly 1 month. Take, about 7 to 10 working days with Uma Madam, connect all the documentation. She will prepare the file for me and we'll
Okay.
take it from there. I think you're probably looking about worst case 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah, and the other thing which I wanted to ask you is about the finance uh, opportunities over there. Like, are there
Issues.
opportunities for the?
Here, we have hundreds of students who have successfully completed, and if you have such a skill set like you, definitely possible. We work with York University and many
Mhm.
colleges, they have advanced accounting postgrad programs, which is a pathway to CPA, which might be interesting for you in the
Yeah,
future.
actually,
And also financial planning, many students, and they have been able to get jobs. But one thing I really want to explain, or I probably stress for all the people out there, if you are leaving your home country, coming to a new country, you have to work twice harder. Nothing comes easy. It's not like you're sending your first resume, you'll get a job. You have to have the skill set, you have to do networking, you should have good communication skills. And eventually, if you have the skill set, you will get a job. In all my career here, having worked as an education consultant, having worked as an international recruitment officer, having, and currently and as an RCIC, I talk to thousands of people every day. Even only our Facebook has about 50,000 people, 52,000 people. We have about 70 WhatsApp groups with thousands of people. And every year, I think no other agency in India has the data and the reach what we have. Every day you see in the Zoom, right? So many people. We have at least 50 people who join our Zoom at zero advertisement. So you can imagine the volume of applicants who pass through us. And we try to help all students, irrespective of CIP, non-CIP, whoever needs help, they can join Zoom and they can reach out to my team. So getting a job, definitely a possible. You will hardly see any people who go to who return back. You'll see a lot of people who return back from UK, from Australia, from US due to all this visa and employment issues. But you rarely find anybody who's returned back from Canada unless it was their personal choice or wrong decisions.
Okay, fine. Actually, I'm doing the CPA as well from here because we have the chance to do that from India as well.
Yes, yeah. So that's
Okay.
good. So yeah, so again, I'm happy that Srikant did tell me about you, and I told him go ahead and start the process, and we can take, as I said, for CIP students, we only charge $100 consultation fees for spouse open work permit, and we'll take it forward from there. Okay.
Yep. Thanks a lot, actually.
You're welcome, Amma. Pleasure talking to you and looking very much to meet you. And Srikant, for our students, we have welcome parties every year. We
Okay.
did it. If you are in a Facebook group, or you can just add me on my Facebook, you'll see. We organized recently. We had one in Toronto in our office. We had in Kitchener, Waterloo. Every summer, we also have a boat cruise party. From last year, we're starting that. Okay.
Okay. Thank